city to have some food on the table and a roof over your head. Everything will be okay, hopefully.
Kevin Federline is currently facing a major financial crisis after losing the child support payments he had been receiving from his ex-wife, Britney Spears. For nearly 2 decades, Kevin depended on Britney's money to support not only their 2 sons, Preston and Jayden James, but also his own lavish lifestyle. Now that their youngest son, Jayden, has turned 18, Kevin's regular source of income has suddenly dried up, and this drastic change may leave him struggling to maintain his current way of life. Kevin and Britney's marriage ended years ago, but their financial relationship continued long after their split because of their 2 children. Britney had been paying child support to Kevin since their divorce, and this arrangement remained in place until Jayden recently celebrated his 18th birthday on September 12th. With Jayden now legally an adult, Britney is no longer obligated to send Kevin any child support payments. For Britney, this likely comes as a relief, but for Kevin, it could be financially devastating. Reports have revealed just how much Britney had been paying Kevin over the years. Between 2007 and 2017, Britney reportedly paid Kevin around $5 million in total child support. Initially, she was paying $10,000 per month for each child, meaning Kevin received around $240,000 per year. However, things changed in 2018 when Kevin requested more support, claiming he could no longer sustain himself through his previous career as a dancer. The court agreed to raise the payments, and Britney began sending $20,000 per month per child, totaling a staggering $480,000 per year. But now that both Preston and Jayden are adults, these payments have ended. Kevin, who had grown accustomed to receiving nearly $500,000 annually from Britney, now faces a harsh new reality. While he surely knew this day was coming, given Jayden's approaching 18th birthday, adjusting to this loss of income will likely be difficult. Some people close to Britney believe Kevin was not just using the child support money for the boy's needs, but also to fund his entire household, which includes his wife, Victoria Prince, and their other children. If this is true, then it explains why Kevin is now rumored to be in financial trouble. Kevin, Victoria, and their children reportedly live in a luxurious 5-bedroom home in Port Lahune, paying $144,000 a month in rent for a 6,300 square foot property. With Britney's child support payments, Kevin was able to cover these massive expenses. Now, without that steady flow of money, it's unclear how he will afford such a lavish lifestyle. Sources say that Kevin and his family may soon face tough financial decisions, possibly needing to move to a less expensive home or drastically cut their expenses. This isn't the first time Kevin has faced financial challenges. In 2018, when he requested an increase in child support, he told the court that his career as a dancer was no longer sustainable due to his age and health. His attempts to launch a music career had not been successful either. He also admitted that he had no savings, assets, or even health insurance at the time. The court granted him the increase in child support payments, helping him avoid financial ruin then. But now, with no legal grounds to request further payments from Britney, Kevin has no clear path forward. On the other hand, Britney Spears is finally enjoying her freedom and success after years of personal and legal battles. Since her conservatorship ended, she has been living life on her own terms. Her memoir, The Woman in Me, released in October last year, became a bestseller and brought in significant income. She also secured a movie deal based on the book, and there are rumors she's working on new music for the film, which could further boost her wealth. Financially and personally, Britney seems to be thriving. Britney reportedly no longer feels any responsibility for Kevin's financial problems. According to sources close to her, she believes that now that her children are adults, Kevin should take care of himself. She wants to focus on her own happiness and her relationship with her sons, free from the financial burdens of the past. Britney's relationship with her children, however, has been complicated. In 2022, Jayden gave an interview where he spoke openly about the difficulties in his relationship with his mother. He criticized Britney's constant social media activity, suggesting that her need for attention created a divide between them. Despite his harsh words, Jayden expressed hope that their relationship could eventually be repaired. He said he hoped one day his mother would change for the better. It seems Britney is holding on to that same hope. Sources say she was saddened that she couldn't spend Jayden's 18th birthday with him, as they live far apart. Jayden reportedly celebrated the occasion with close friends, but Britney still made plans to give him a generous and expensive gift. Insiders claim this gift would be more extravagant than anything Kevin could currently afford, especially considering his alleged financial difficulties. This gesture suggests that Britney still wants to play a meaningful role in her sons' lives and perhaps rebuild their bond. With her newfound freedom and success, Britney is in a position to make her own choices and reconnect with her children on her terms. Her financial struggles are behind her, and she no longer feels tethered to Kevin's needs. She's focused on her well-being and personal growth, hoping that Preston and Jayden, now adults, will choose to rebuild their relationship with her. Kevin, however, faces an uncertain future. The end of Britney's financial support means he must find a way to support his family on his own. Whether he returns to some form of work, revives his career in entertainment, or finds another source of income, Kevin will have to adjust to this new reality. Given his past admissions about lacking savings and steady work, this could prove to be a challenging transition. The situation highlights how long-term financial dependence can backfire when the source of that income suddenly disappears. Kevin had nearly 2 decades to prepare for the day when child support would end, but it remains unclear whether he took any meaningful steps to build financial security for himself and his family. Without Britney's payments, maintaining his current lifestyle seems unlikely unless he finds another significant source of income. Britney, for her part, seems uninterested in her ex-husband's financial woes. She's focused on living her life freely and happily. Now that she's free from the obligations of child support, she's choosing to put her energy into her personal goals and repairing her family relationships. Ultimately, this story is no longer just about financial support. The more interesting question is whether Britney and her sons can repair their strained relationship and whether Kevin can build a stable financial future for himself without relying on Britney's money. With both boys now adults, the future of these relationships and finances rests in their own hands. Only time will tell if Kevin can rise to the occasion, or if he will continue to struggle without the financial safety net he had grown so used to. For Britney, the future looks bright as she steps into a new chapter of her life, one free of legal and financial ties to her past.